Hyder, my guide, took me 2 blocks away to a theater that shows for the first time porno movies in Baghdad. And I had a chance to speak to the manager of the porno theater, who ironically used to be a mid-level government bureaucrat working for Saddam Hussein. His theater has a sellout show for every day, 5 shows a day. When Saddam Hussein was in power, Baghdad was a very lively place to go out. They had movie theaters and restaurants, things to do, arts, culture, museums, plays, and the streets of Baghdad were very, very safe. And I guess that's one of the things that you get when you have a dictator in office is the crime rate drops almost to 0. Once Saddam Hussein went away, Baghdad became a very dangerous place at night because there was no clear authority on the streets keeping them safe at night. And ever since the wars ended, most of the shopkeepers close their shops at 4 p.m. and as soon as that sun is going down, they're out of there and they're trying to get to their houses by dark. Because if you're out in Baghdad after dark, you are seriously compromising your security and your safety.
You glad Saddam is gone?
Yeah.
You happy Saddam Halas?
خلاص.
Halas.
Yeah.
Saddam Majnoon. أيوة. ممكن.
What?
ممكن مجنون.
I don't know.
You don't know. ما فيش مشكلة.
ما فيش مشكلة.
In 1986, they tortured me. They hung me in the hook of the ceiling for 6 months. Only I said, we have been fighting Iranian for 6 years. So for what? So they put me in a jail and hung me in the hook of the ceiling for 6 months. For that reason only. They tortured many people. I was lucky. I was lucky because I saw them alive. They buried hundreds of people in the massive graves. So I was lucky to be here now.
Saddam Hussein. The future will be very good without Saddam in Iran. And I see is the matter of the American soldier will leave. In peace, this may take some time. It's about 1 year, 2 years. But the situation I see is will better, be better.
Hyder and I were at a local market, and all of a sudden we heard this huge blast almost right behind us. When we got there, there were 2 cars that were on the exit ramp of the highway, both of them completely destroyed and on fire. It turns out that there was a suicide bomber with a bomb in the back of his car that was heading towards the US Air Base. As the car got off the highway, another car rear-ended it and the bomb exploded, killing 4 people in the car behind it, plus the original occupants. About 10 minutes after this happened, the US military showed up. They then hired the Iraqis to walk through a 300-foot radius of the blast site, picking up small pieces of human remains and putting it into a plastic bag to try to piece together some evidence of this blast. The biggest body part that was found was the scalp of a man about the size of a pancake, and the rest of the pieces were about the size of a quarter. It was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen, and to see a car bomb on TV and to be there when a car bomb happens are 2 completely different things. While US and Allied planes were bombing Baghdad at the start of the First Gulf War, 393 men, women, and children gathered into a bomb shelter in the upper middle class town of Amaria in Baghdad. This bomb shelter is reinforced with steel beams and 6-foot thick concrete walls. It was the safest place to hide when suddenly a 500-pound bunker-busting bomb was dropped. Now, I had had a chance to see what a bunker-busting bomb can do, and it ripped through 3 layers of this bomb shelter through 24 feet of concrete, and it detonated right in the middle of this bomb shelter. "294 men, women, and children were killed in the blast." My guides pointed out the areas where you could see the horrifying outlines of people, human beings, that literally were incinerated when this bomb blew up. The heat was so great that there was nothing left of most people. Pictures of the victims line the wall in this dimly lit bomb shelter. As I walked through this memorial to the dead, I really had to ask myself, who are the real victims when 2 nations go to war? Outside this memorial, there is a grave marker for each one of the victims of this bomb. In the center of the bomb shelter is a giant clock with the exact time that the bombing took place. Does it really matter what country these people are from? They were not armed, they weren't fighting a war, they were hiding. They were trying to protect and preserve their families, and they were incinerated. Is this terrorism? Saddam Tower is this Space Needle looking building that Saddam Hussein built as a landmark for Baghdad. The US and its allies bombed Saddam Tower, but it's still standing. And it is the one place where the Iraqi civil defense, the new Iraqi police, has been sent to visibly be a presence, almost a billboard, of the reemergence of the Iraqi authority. I went up there and spent an afternoon with these guys. I was kind of saddened to talk to them and hear their stories, because when they were in the army for Saddam Hussein, they earned $140 a month. Now they're working for the US military and they're only earning $70 a month. We're only paying them half of what Saddam Hussein paid them. On top of that, the equipment that's given to these guys is substandard. The flak jackets are not bulletproof. They're plastic helmets. The actual uniforms that they're wearing look a lot more like pajamas than professional military equipment.
Okay, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum assalam. Thank you. You guys take care of yourselves, okay?
Thank you for
Stay alive. Stay alive. We need you. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for protecting us.
أشهد أن محمد رسول